All right, so we got to talk about this, man. So it looks like a CJ So Cool's private detective, private investigator, Jason, is back, man. He is back dropping content on Royalty for the past week or so. He took a break. He was talking about a bunch of other content, a bunch of other stuff. I guess it wasn't working. So now he's back dropping content on Royalty. And he says in his latest video that he found the house. He found Royalty's house that she's living in right now. He dropped these two videos. A Royalty manager let her borrow a glorified Airbnb because she was losing. Royalty and her family living in a loner Airbnb. Let's talk about this Airbnb situation first before we jump into his video and react to it. So I'm on Airbnb. I'm in Atlanta. I'm not in Atlanta, but I'm searching in Atlanta. We're going to search for 30 days for September. And I put like 6 people, 3 adults, 3 kids, whatever, right? Just trying to see what the prices are. And Airbnb, like, I feel like people be like trying to say like if you have an Airbnb, then you're broke or something like that. You got to be broke if you're renting an Airbnb. Like an Airbnb is going to cost you more than a mortgage and a lease because you're renting for a set duration, then you got to pay all these fees and cleaning and all this, all this stuff. So I don't get it. Like some people try to make it seem like, like you saw in his titles, right? Before we get into the video, right? It's an Airbnb. It's like, that means she's got more money though. If she's renting an Airbnb, that means she's got more money. I mean, look at these properties. This one is $4,000. $4,559 monthly before taxes. It was like $6,500, but I guess there's a discount. This looks super small, man. This house is super small. It feels small. Like, I don't know, maybe the bed is too big or something like that. It just feels super small, super cramped. And her house is way bigger. So if this is $4,500, then her house must be like $15,000. It's got to be $15,000 because it's a lot more space. I seen the video where she went into the garage and they had all this like, I guess like pool tables and some other stuff like to play around or whatever. I mean, it kind of looks old, but it's still pretty massive. I think it's just the furniture is old. But I mean, look at these properties, $3,700. So like I said, her house has got to be, even if it's an Airbnb, it's a loaner, she's still going to pay for it. One way or another, she's going to pay for it, whether she's paying like a monthly amount with the fees and taxes and all this stuff, or she's going to promote her manager's business, his products or something. Nobody's going to give you anything for free, man. Nobody's going to give you anything for free. Even if you're a YouTuber, social media, ain't nobody going to give you shit for free in this world. You're going to pay for it some way. Maybe they'll clap the cheeks. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, so, yeah, so he's stuck on the Airbnb thing. But let me get in his video.
Wow.
Hold on, man. Let me adjust this because I don't know. He plays his videos either too fast or too slow.
And do y'all notice every time she says she's moving in silence, she means that she's just trying to keep her business off of YouTube because she know we'll potentially talk about it. Because y'all notice every time she pop back up, it's with something that she's able to, you know what I'm saying, do. This whole time she laid flat. Boom. And I already got her address. But I'm not a doxer. We don't do that. They took it personal. I actually have Royalty's real address where she lives right now. Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Y'all heard that? Jason says he got royalties address where she lives at right now. I think he said he's had it for like a month now. I don't know how he's had it for a month if she just dropped videos, because I haven't been really reacting to her videos. A month?
I'm not a doxer. We don't do that. They took it personal. I actually have royalties, a real address where she lives right now. Yeah, I got it. I got her whole address. Had it for like over a month. But we don't even care about that type situation. You know what I'm saying? But today, there's a video where she actually leaked CJ So Cool's telephone number. Yes, in her new video today, she's talking to the twins and CJ and hers on the phone, actually seeming cordial. And somehow CJ's phone get leaked. Not somehow. Charlene's recording her phone while she showed the twins at CJ's house, and that's how the leakage happened. So CJ went to his IG to put a post up about it. You know what I'm saying? And I believe,
I thought she had blurred it out in the video. Because I know what he's talking about. That she was talking to like Daya or something like that, and you can see it, but I thought it was blurred out.
And more will come from that, but yeah, CJ's phone number leaked by none other than the highway frog, Charlene herself. So here she is, y'all, in merely another Airbnb to do content in.
I don't know why he says Airbnb like that's supposed to be like that she's poor or something, like she's broke. If you're renting an Airbnb, that means you got more money than someone that has a mortgage and somebody that's leasing. Like I just showed you guys a second ago, if you're renting an Airbnb just for 30 days in Atlanta, it's going to set you back almost like $4,000. Those amounts that I showed you guys didn't even include taxes. So you tack on taxes. I don't know what the taxes are in Atlanta, but probably high or whatever. So you're talking about like at least $4,000 for a shitty ass little ass house. So the house she's in, it's way bigger. I mean, guys, you can look it up yourself. So I don't get it. I don't understand when they say, "Oh, she's got an Airbnb." Like, what is that supposed to mean? If she's got an Airbnb, like she's broke? It's like when people say, "Oh, you rented that car for a day." Bro, renting a car, if you rent a Lamborghini for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, you're paying way more than somebody that's actually financing a Lamborghini or leasing a Lamborghini. You finance let's say you finance a Lamborghini Huracan. That's like $2,500, $3,000 a month. It's your car, right? You can drive it every day, but it's going to set you back $3,000 a month. If you lease it, it's probably going to be a little cheaper, maybe like $2,000 a month. But if you rent it for a day, it's going to be like $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500. Some places are a little cheaper. You might get it for like maybe like $800 in Vegas or Florida, because like Lamborghinis are like Hondas over there. But in other areas, it's like $1,200. So the point is, people that act like, "Oh, you rented that shit for 2 days or you rented that shit for a week," and they spent more than the person that actually financed it. Same thing with the Airbnbs. I don't understand, like, when he throws these shots, like, if anything, she's got more money.
I said, let's go.
Don't miss out on all this video content that is about to be dropped.
Oh, Mr. Ballhead, little ballhead back. Little ballhead back, baby.
That has came our
Goober head back.
and of course, got the twins.
Hey, y'all, don't let her fool y'all. This is just not a blessing. It's still back-end situations going on. Either listen, a little bit of back-end situations like that going on.
Ooh, so you trying to say that royalty is she got this house and somebody is clapping her cheeks? Y'all heard that, right? He was slapping something. I don't know. He was slapping his own cheeks or something.
Or percentage, which we're going to go ahead and say percentage, because I'm not going to give royalty that. I will give the tree frog that. She's not running through the streets just letting everybody order Arby's roast beef meats. I'll give her that. But she's definitely getting some taken from the back end, because that guy that she showed put her in this crib. He came with a...
I'm surprised that Jason hasn't dropped a live stream in a while. Like I thought he was dropping live streams. I think he said he got demonetized. That's weird.
Proposition. And she took it. He said, look, man, we got a nice little crib that no one's in right now. I could set you up in this crib. You able to get your content done. You give me about 70%. Yeah. You take 30, 70, 30. He's getting like 70. She's getting like 30. You know, she's dumb. She didn't go to school past like the 4th grade. So she jumped on that like, oh my God. Yeah.
Hold on, man. Let me try to understand this. Hold on. Let me replay this because he talking about like somebody let her move into this house. And in exchange for that, they keep 70% of her, I guess, her ad revenue, her YouTube checks, and then she gets to keep 30%. Like, what? What? What are you talking about? How does he come up with these figures? How do you know that she moved into this place and she's going to give up 70%? Like, how do you know if it's not 40% or 50%? Like, it's Atlanta, right? I'm sure Atlanta is not like the real estate is not, and that house is not like, it's not like modern. That's the best way to put it. It's not modern. It's not like the tech advanced. You can tell the house is a little bit outdated. So it's not like a newly built house with the state-of-the-art technology and all that stuff. I don't know where he comes up with this 70%.
Situations like that going on or percentage, which we're going to go ahead and say percentage because I'm not going to give royalty that. I will give the tree frog that. She's not running through the streets just letting everybody order Arby's roast beef meats. I'll give her that. But she's definitely getting some taken from the back end because that guy that she showed put her in this crib. He came with a proposition and she took it. He said, look, man, we got a nice little crib that no one's in right now. I could set you up in this crib. You able to get your content done. You give me about 70%. Yeah. You take 30, 70, 30. He's getting like 70. She's getting like 30. You know, she's dumb. She didn't go to school past like the 4th grade. So she jumped on that like, oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. And she jumped on that. Yeah, real spill, man. So that's what's going on right now. She jumped all over that. You know what I'm saying?
So royalty gets about 2 million views a month. Something like that. 2 million, 3 million. So that's like about, let's just like estimate this real fair, real quick. So let's say she gets about $30,000 a month. 30,000. So you saying she gives up 70% of 30,000. I'm just estimating. Don't hold me like to these numbers like he's estimating. He don't know that she's giving up 70%, 75%, 80%, 50%, 40%. But since he's throwing out numbers, we'll throw numbers out, right? So let's say she makes about 30,000 a month on YouTube. So you're saying she gives up 70%, so that's like more than 20,000, 21,000, something like that. A little over, yeah, probably like $21,000. And she lives off 9,000. I don't know. I don't think so. Even if she made 20,000 a month, I don't think she gives up that much because I don't think this house is like I don't even think that house is like $15,000 a month. It just doesn't look it. It don't look like a $15,000 per month house. I mean, we've seen some houses that are $5,000, but this one don't look like 15.
So this is why she's at this, you know what I'm saying, situation right here. It ain't nothing too far from what she was doing in Dallas. You know what I mean? She's trying to act like she's up and I found my kids a new home. This is nothing. I seen somebody in the comments say, ooh, royalty crib's bigger than CJ's. But the only thing about CJ's is he can actually afford the wait. She can. She's getting her back end rizzied. Yeah, she's getting her back end knocked crazy down. You see, when CJ was giving up his back end, he was still creating content and getting a nice payout when he was letting them murder.
Hold on, what? Hold on, what you say? You said CJ was giving up his back end. What? What do you mean? That sounds so Diddy. He was giving up his back end. What?
Jumped on that. Yeah, real spill, man. So that's what's going on right now. She jumped all over that. You know what I'm saying? So This is why she's at this, you know what I'm saying, situation right here. It ain't nothing too far from what she was doing in Dallas. You know what I mean? She's trying to act like she's up and I found my kids a new home. This is nothing. I seen somebody in the comments say, ooh, royalty crib's bigger than CJ's. But the only thing about CJ's is he can actually afford the wait. She can. She's getting her back end rizzied. Yeah, she's getting her back end knocked crazy down. You see, when CJ was giving up his back end, he was still creating content and getting a nice payout when he was letting them merge and get his little 30 to 40, 50%. And he had to pay back the 2.5 million. Yeah. But her, it don't go like that. This was basically a lookout because they seen she was only putting out one video every 2 months. So dude said, oh, hold up. I got an idea. Your kids can continue in you to do content since you don't want to show your 2-bedroom apartment where I know where it's at. It's almost downtown Vegas. We know I've seen it. I got it. And that's what she did. And y'all, guess what? Rico got a haircut. I'm talking about like a 1.5. Yeah, he got all of his hair cut off. That thing is like a 1.5. He completely lost that whole thug look.
Yeah, so I'm looking at her house. I'm just going to base it off what I see on video. This does not look like, if this is like some people are saying this is like $15,000 a month. I've seen comments saying, oh, it's $17,000, $20,000. It's like, stop, man. This is not a $15,000 a month house. Because Mr. Organic lived in Malibu when he was doing all those crypto scams, right? And he was paying $15,000 a month in Malibu, California. Like, we might not agree with what Organic does, but he was living in Malibu for a year. That's big boy shit. Big boy shit. So this house in Atlanta is nowhere near $15,000. So all these people that in the comments, oh, it's $15,000, $17,000. We get it. You know, she's moved into a bigger place. Good for her. Whether the manager put her there or like an investor or her new boyfriend or whatever the situation is, but it's not a $15,000 house. It's expensive because you see some little ass crappy ass houses like I showed you earlier that are like $5,000 a month. But that's like Airbnb though. So if I had to guess, this is probably more like closer to 10, maybe not even, probably approaching 10.
The clean 1.5, the lowest it's ever been look. It's all dark. It's not slam or blood. Absolutely real business. You see what I'm saying?
So y'all, we got a table where we don't eat it. This is just for show. So,
Actually, the whole crib's for show. Who do you think you're playing with? When CJ had the money, he done this. Rented out so cool land, so cool world, so cool galaxy. Yes, that's what you do. And you run content up in them because you have spaces that you can show that you're not going to be ashamed of. That one corner in your crib that might got the little discoloration on one of the towels. That little spot from right there.
I mean, Jason is speaking facts for this point in particular. Like, people like families and like, certain types of YouTubers, they do get big houses to run content on them. So they can record that inside the house. Like the classic one is the Ace family. They did it for the longest time. And then if you guys remember, I don't know if you even watched the Ace family, like they got like 3 houses. It was a hot mess and they kind of like smashed them together. And they said, that's our big house. That's our new house. And it wasn't their house. It was just for content purposes. Like it was really like a commercial property, but they kind of made it look into a residential property for YouTube's sake. So what he's saying, it is true. Like, we might not agree with everything Jason says, but that is true.
On the back of your wall that you use to hang up picture frames and it pulled a little bit of paint off your wall. Yeah, that. You don't have to worry about that. So you go get one of these upper little mini mansion situations and you shoot content in that. Oldest trick in the game. How do you think a lot of these, when a lot of the Vine stores was coming up, they were doing that. They were renting out these nice little cribs and they were shooting their content in those cribs. 2 for 2, baby. We getting the content done, and the crib that we're shooting it in is beautiful. The kitchen.
Yeah, but the thing is, even if she's renting, that means she's got money. Like, I don't know why people make it seem like if she's renting this shit for like a month, she's gonna pay more than somebody that's actually leasing it for a year and paying like, $7,000 a month. Like, if this is really an Airbnb, like, I really don't care at this point if it's an Airbnb or not. But if it is an Airbnb, then royalty is paying more. She's paying more. It's the same thing like when people say, oh, you rent a Lamborghini for 2 days. Yeah, that means that dude paid more than somebody that's renting it or financing it for 2 months. Oh, well, probably more than that. If they're renting it like a week, they're probably spending more than somebody that's financing it for 2 months. Because, like I said, finance is probably going to be like $3,000 a month. And if you rent it, it's probably going to be like $1,500 with taxes, insurance, all that crap. So if you rent something for a week, exotic car, you rent a house, a yacht, you got money. I feel like he's trying to throw shame on her, but it's like it's going to backfire.
The countertops. Come on, man, get with the program. So that's all she's doing. CJ was doing it. Ain't nobody dissing her. This is what she was supposed to been do, stupid. You would have already been up. 2 years. She's 2 years late.
All right, man, we're going to wrap up here for Jason's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about what he had to say.